welcome back. I'm Roxanne with Baker's Acres Homestead. I am so glad you're here. First of all, excuse my voice. It's kind of hoarse and raspy right now. I've been fighting a cold for a few days, but I am on the mend, so that is a good thing. Anyways, I was just out here in the garden. I was coming out to check a few things and look things over, and I thought I would take you guys along with me. So let's see what's going on. So over here I have tomato plant over here. See tomato plants still. These are right here. These are the yellow pear tomatoes, and another one over there that I'm not sure which that one is. It may be a Rebecca Allen. I'm not real positive. It's one that I put in as a replacement, and all my tomato plants had gotten mixed up, so I don't remember. But those are still producing and doing good. And then over on the bed over beside that, there's some more peppers, poblanos, and bananas. The poblanos still have, jalapenos and poblanos. The poblanos still have some peppers on them, but they're all finishing up. Most of my peppers are done. I have some lettuce here that I planted for the fall that's doing really well. I also had some lettuce that was here, but it kind of didn't do too great. I mean, I've got a couple of little heads there, and there was some kale down there, and it didn't do very good either. But I have one radish there that I planted. Well, actually, I planted more than one radish, but there's one that's left. It didn't do too good either for the fall. It kind of all died. It did come up, most of it did, but then either bugs got to it or it just died and didn't make it. Most of my fall stuff didn't do very good this year. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know most of the reason why was bugs and just pests and stuff getting it, and some of it was just they just didn't make it. I would plant them in the garden and they would just die off, or the seeds would germinate and come up and they would only get so tall and then they would die. But anyways, that's okay. I still have a few things like some lettuce and the beet that's over there, and some peas, and a couple of broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and most of my tomatoes are still producing, so that's okay. I just came out yesterday and picked pretty much all of my peppers, and some of my tomato plants I would probably have to pick tomatoes off of them before too long, even if they're green. I'll just make a green salsa or something out of the green tomatoes, or make some fried green tomatoes or something like that with those. A few nights ago, maybe about a week ago now, something like that. Anyways, we had our first frost, which was almost kind of unexpected. It just come out of nowhere, and I had to come out here and cover all my tomato plants with blankets and stuff just to keep the frost off of them, because they are all still loaded with tomatoes and just doing so good, and I didn't want them to die. I didn't want the frost to kill them, because every day after that, for like the next 2 weeks or so, it's good weather. Like the coldest it gets is in the 40s. Maybe a couple of nights of 37, but not a frost, not anything that's going to kill it. And so I really didn't want them to die off or anything, with them loaded with tomatoes and still doing very well. So we came out here and covered them with a whole bunch of blankets and stuff, just laid blankets over the top of them to try and help keep the frost off of them. And that worked for the most part. Most of them did make it, except for some of them do have some branches where like the blankets were touching, and it got damage on it. But it also has a whole bunch of tomatoes on there still. All of these do. They still have a whole bunch of tomatoes, but I'm not sure. This one's dropped a whole bunch of green ones that I'll probably come out here and pick up pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, they still have a bunch of tomatoes, and these over here we didn't cover because they weren't loaded with tomatoes or anything, and we really didn't have a whole bunch of blankets to get all of them. It's got one tomato there. Maybe that one will turn soon, or maybe not. I don't know. But the frost pretty much killed most of my peppers, as you can see. It's not doing very good anymore. Some of my tomato plants are still okay. That one didn't get covered. As you can see, it's like all gone. These got covered here, and these peppers, see, they're like so bad. The frost didn't do them any good at all. This tomato plant we covered, and that one, and this one has, this tomato plant right here actually has a giant tomato that I'm waiting for it to ripen. I've gotten a couple of big ones off of that plant there, and as you can see, it's gotten so big that like the tomato cage doesn't even hold it up anymore. It's just laid over and fell on the ground, and I've tried picking it back up and it just falls right back over again. But anyways, most of its leaves on the bottom there aren't too good anymore. But all of this down here, I mean, it's got some good growth still. Still some green and stuff on it. So maybe it'll do alright, and all these tomatoes that are on here will go ahead and ripen. We could get those. But yeah, I'm waiting for that big giant one. I got a couple of big ones off of this plant. This is the Rebecca Allen plant. I know that for sure. And I already gotten a 1 pound tomato off of that plant. And I'm waiting for that other big one to see how big it is. I'm going to weigh it and see what it weighs. But yeah, like this one. See all the tomatoes on there? It's got like all kinds of tomatoes still. And I really don't want them to die or anything yet. I'm not ready to get with the garden yet. But like this one is like gone. It's got a tomato on it, but it's no good anymore. I'll probably have to pick that tomato green because it probably won't ripen on its own. But yeah, the frost came and we did what we could, throwing blankets over some of the tomato plants and stuff and hoping for the best. And I mean, like these, they've got tomatoes on them, but they're still very green, and they didn't get too much damage to them, so maybe those tomatoes will ripen before it does get too cold. That's what I'm hoping anyways. But yeah, I mean, it happens, you know. You can't stop the frost from coming or anything, and you just gotta hope for the best, really. Most of my peppers are gone, and coming out here and looking, I'm seeing a lot of damage on my tomato plants and stuff from the frost, but we still have a lot of tomatoes, and there's still some green on the tomato plants, so maybe they'll be alright. My melons, all my melon plants, they died, of course. They do not like the cold at all. So they're all gone. They all shriveled up, turned brown like that. That was a Kajari melon. Still had a couple of Kajaris on it, but that's not ready at all. They would turn orange before those are ready. So that's what most of my melon plants look like now. All shriveled up leaves and brown. My pumpkins over here, they're all shriveled up and gone too. My pumpkins never really did produce anything this year anyways. I may have got them in too late. But here's some more of my tomatoes. As you can see, all loaded with tomatoes. These tomato plants we actually did not get covered. We didn't have enough blankets to cover these over here. but they don't look too bad though. I mean, they still got some pretty good green leaves and limbs on them. I mean, they got some damage, of course, which is expected. They weren't covered and it did frost, but their tomatoes may ripen. I'm really hoping. And here I have a broccoli that's coming back. Bugs did get to most of my broccolis, but they've got some new growth and some new leaves, and they're growing. So hopefully they'll produce and get big enough to make some broccoli before it gets too cold. And yeah, so we're in the middle of October now, and it is getting chillier, and fall has definitely arrived. We're having some cool nights and cooler days, mostly in the 60s and 70s now, and it just kind of almost happened like overnight. Like we were in the 80s and 90s, and then that frost came and it just dropped the temperature pretty quick, and so fall made its appearance, and so most of my garden is starting to die down, and my fall stuff, of course, like I said, didn't do very well, and which is a bummer. I mean, I wish I could have got more out of the fall garden, but sometimes you have those moments when things just don't do as good as you would hope, and I don't give up on it. Just use it as a learning time, or a time of growth or whatever, and just try again next year and hope for the best next year. Maybe this year wasn't so good, but maybe next year will be a better year. And it's like God teaching me a lesson of hope and hope and perseverance and not giving up. And just because life throws a curveball at you or whatever doesn't mean that that's the end, or that you give up, or that life's over, because it's not. It's just a bump in the road. It's just a learning curve. It's just a time in your life when you take that lesson and you learn from it, and maybe you grow from it, or maybe it's just a bump in the road to make you appreciate the good times when things are going good. And honestly, I love my garden in every stage that it's in. Yeah, it's sad to see it go. It's sad to see it dying or not doing so good or whatever. But I mean, there's a reason for every stage of it, just like there's a reason for every stage in life and everything that happens. So I mean, like the garden, when it's going good and it's producing and it's so full and stuff, that makes me excited and happy and like looking forward like to the next season and stuff. And when it's not doing so good and things are dying or things aren't making it, or it's just not doing what I wanted it to do or whatever, yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, it sucks, and it kind of makes you wonder what all this work is for. But I have a love and a passion for this garden, and I mean, that love and that passion is what keeps me going and keeps me looking forward to next year and what next year will bring. Next year's a whole new year to try different things, or learn from this year and do something different, or just to see what the garden's gonna do next year, because it could be completely different from this year. There's so many aspects that can change and make it a whole new experience than this year was. I mean, it's just like our relationship with God. When you think about the times that are good and like you're getting the blessings and you're reaping the rewards and everything, and life's just so great. That's so easy to worship God and want to follow Him and give Him thanks and praise Him and stuff. And then the times that are bad, just like in the garden, when times are bad, it's hard to really want to do the garden or look forward to coming out to the garden and just enjoying it. But I mean, just like when life is bad, it's hard to worship God, or hard, not for me, not hard to worship God really, but hard to think that, He's there with you, or that He is helping you out, or that He wants what's best for you, or whatever. But honestly, if your heart is so sold out for God and like you're so on fire for Him and stuff, and like you are living for Him wholeheartedly, those bad times are not gonna stop you or put you down or whatever. Those are the times when God's strength is made perfect, and the times when His glory is shown through you, because you don't give up and people see that you keep going and you keep trucking along, and you don't let those bad times set you back or stop you from praising God and worshiping Him and telling how good He is. So just like the garden and the bad times in the garden, if you have a passion and a love for it and your heart's so on fire for it, those bad times aren't gonna stop you from doing what you love, or from living for God and sharing that with others. And the garden's starting to die down, but it's all right. We got stuff out of the garden this year, and we got quite a bit, and I was able to put things away, can things, and use them for meals and stuff. And so, I mean, God provided here in the garden, and that's wonderful, and we love it. And we're thankful for what we got. Although we wish we could have got more, and we hope for more next year, we have contentment in where our garden was this year, and the things that we got out of it, we're pleased and we're happy. It's more than what we had to begin with, and so, I mean, that's a success in my eyes, and that's a blessing from God, so we're happy with that. And I just wanted to show you over here too, we have our green beans here. We got so many green beans this year, and there still are quite a few green beans on here, and we may come out and pick some of these too. The green bean plant is pretty much done. As you can see, it's got some dried up leaves on it, and there's really no more flowers or anything, nothing's producing or anything, and there's quite a few pods on here. So yeah, we may come out here and pick another batch of these again, but I am going to leave some on this plant to dry for seeds, because I want to save seeds for next year. And I'll take you over here as well. Same thing with my okra. The okra is pretty much done too, but we have some pods on here that are really big. They would probably be woody and hard to try to eat, and so I am going to leave all of these big giant okras on here to dry on the plant to go to seed, so that I can save those for next year as well. Because saving seed means that I don't have to buy those seeds next year. And I can just plant them right back in my garden from the seed that I grew. So that's exciting. I kind of like the idea of saving seeds out of my garden. You buy the seed one time, and then you plant that seed. It produces fruit, and then you got seed inside of that fruit, and you can save them, and then you can plant them again for years to come. Well, guys, I'm glad that you hung out with me today in my garden.